The beggar who became a businessman. At the bustling railway station a beggar lived, surviving by asking for alms from passengers traveling through the station. One day, while begging, he noticed a tall man dressed in a suit, who appeared wealthy. Thinking that this man would surely give him a generous amount, he approached him for alms. The tall man looked at the beggar and asked, "You always ask for things, but have you ever given something to anyone?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I am just a beggar. I always ask from people. I don't have anything to give." The tall man smiled and said, "If you cannot give anything, you have no right to ask either. I am a businessman, and I only believe in transactions. If you have something to give me, then I will give you something in return." Saying this, the man boarded the train and left. The beggar was deeply moved by his words. He kept thinking about them. Perhaps he didn't receive much because he had nothing to offer in return. But being a beggar, what could he possibly give? 2 days passed as he pondered over this question. Then, while sitting near the station, he noticed some flowers blooming on nearby plants. An idea struck him: why not give people flowers in return for alms? Excited by the thought, he plucked a few flowers and began his new way of begging. Whenever someone gave him money, he handed them a flower in return. People loved this gesture and happily accepted the flowers. Soon, he realized that more people started giving him alms. Every day, he plucked flowers from around the station and handed them out. He noticed a pattern: whenever he had flowers, more people gave him money, but when he ran out of flowers, fewer people helped him. One day, while begging, he saw the same tall man on the train again. Excited, he rushed to him and said, "Sir, today I have something to give you. If you give me alms, I will give you a flower in return." The tall man smiled and gave him some money. In return, the beggar happily handed him a flower. The businessman was impressed and said, "Wow! Now, you have become a businessman like me." Saying this, he took the flower and got off at his station. Once again, the man's words struck a deep chord in the beggar's heart. He kept thinking about them, and suddenly, his eyes lit up. He realized he had found the key to success. He stepped off the train, looked up at the sky, and shouted, "I am not a beggar. I am a businessman." People around thought he had gone mad, but from the next day, he was never seen begging at the station again. 6 months later, 2 well-dressed men were traveling on a train. They glanced at each other, and one extended his hand for a handshake, asking, "Do you recognize me?" The other replied, "No, I don't think we have met before." The first man smiled and said, "Think again, we have met not once but twice before." Surprised, the second man asked, "Really? When?" The first man laughed and said, "We met twice on this very train. I am the beggar to whom you once refused to give alms and later bought flowers from." The second man was astonished. "Oh! I remember now. But where are you headed today? What do you do now?" The former beggar, now a confident man in a suit, proudly said, "I am no longer a beggar, I am now a successful flower merchant. I am traveling to another city for business. Your words changed my life. You taught me the rule of give and take, that we receive only when we give. I had always thought of myself as a beggar, but when you told me that I had become a businessman, I truly believed it. People weren't giving me alms out of pity, they were paying for the flowers I offered. That realization changed everything. With the money I earned, I bought more flowers and expanded my business. I admire flowers, and today, I own one of the biggest flower shops in the city." Both men smiled and got off the train, discussing business opportunities as they walked ahead together. This story teaches us that success lies in our mindset. The businessman understood the universal law of give and take, which has helped many great entrepreneurs succeed. When the beggar applied this principle, his life transformed. If we change our thinking, we can achieve anything. If we see ourselves as small, we will remain small. To grow, we must think big. Success is hidden in your mindset, respect yourself, dream big, and see how life changes for you.